Hello YouTubers. In this video we're going to be replacing the VTEC gasket on our 2012 Honda Odyssey Touring Elite. This car has approximately 190 some thousand miles and we're starting to get a bit of a leak down in there. So it could be the valve cover. We don't know for sure, but this gasket here is easy enough to get to, easy enough to replace. We're going to start with that first. So here's the part that we have to do the job, a Norman part. Let's see. Includes everything that we need. So we got new screws, 2 gaskets, a plate of some sort, which may make sense once we dive into it, but this is the problem. The gaskets are leaking. We'll figure it out. Okay, here are the tools you'll need. A pair of needle nose pliers, 1/4 inch ratchet, 1 extension, and a 10mm. I used a 10mm ratcheting wrench on a bracket that you'll see. You don't have to do that. You could use this. I used a 3/8 to 1/4 extension for this so that I could torque everything back together with the 10mm, and a screwdriver. So that's all you need. In order to take this off, we just pop in the screwdriver, turn it different direction there. The next thing we're going to want to do is put a screwdriver in here, make sure that that's lifted up, and then it should pull up. We have another one right here. Just put it on the outside edge between the white and the black on the outside. Next thing we're going to want to do is to push down on this, relieving the pressure so that it will pull up and out, like so. And we'll do the rest. Okay, all 3 are out. Next thing we're going to do is to pull this one up, like so. Let's get this one here. So, it's about lifting this up, getting it out of the way. We're really focused on this side. All we're trying to do is give ourselves some room so that we can pull this system out. The next thing that we're going to do is to undo this hose clamp here, pull it out of our way, that way we can lift this up. So we'll probably do both sides. Next thing is to remove this bolt here. So we can remove this bracket, and there's a bolt right down there. 10mm. Let's pull the bracket out. Let's grab this one out first. This other one. Okay, the bracket is out. Now we're going to see if we can't break this thing here loose. It does not want to move. So what I'm trying to do is twist the pipe or the hose so that we don't break the hose. Go ahead and get it to break free here. Pipe free. Okay, our screws appear to be this screw here and these 2 here. And this piece here popped out. So here's our O-ring we have in our kit. Okay, in order to get this out, this plate stayed behind. Typically it will fall off or come out easily when you pull the unit out. But I had to put a pair of pliers on the sides and pull it up. I don't recommend a hammer and a screwdriver getting underneath here, or a pick, because you don't want to mar the surface and then have another leak. So all I did was this, and it is coming right up. There it is, the gasket and the plate. So here's what we're left with. I'm going to try to clean up the surfaces as best I can around the perimeter. Okay, the surface is cleaned up, and while we're here, because I didn't know if the leak is coming from the VTEC gasket or if it's coming from the valve cover. And the valve cover looks pretty good. It may not be it at all. It could be either the dipstick, there's probably a gasket there. More than likely it was the VTEC gasket leaking down on top of the dipstick area. But we're going to go with this first. We'll give it a few thousand miles. Not really a few thousand miles. Give it a few hundred miles after we're done and see if this resolves it. If not, look for another video. Okay, here we are with our old parts. Really no reason to break that down. Let's pull out this gasket here and clean the surface. Okay, let's get our pick and get this one out. Okay, now let's clean up the area. Okay, the device is cleaned pretty good. Better than it was. All right, let's put it back together. First thing we're going to start with is the engine side. Just making sure it lines up the way I expect it to. So there are guide pins on this, so you can't put it in wrong. Can only fit one way. All right, let's put this side together. That's it. So now we're going to put it in and put our bolts in. Okay, so let's put our unit in. We got our gasket on. The unit is in. Let's drop in our bolts. Okay, the torque specs to this are 6 pounds or 8 Newton meters. My device doesn't even do that small, so I just have it at all the way down. Mine starts at 10, so I don't even have it. Next thing we're going to do is to put back on our hose and redo our clamps. Next thing is put back in our bracket that went underneath this. It's going to take some finagling, but the bracket goes back in. Just come in from the underside through this way, and it should land where it needs to land. And we'll put in our screws. Okay, those are just tight. There's no torque specs that I can find on that, so I'm not going to worry about it. It was tight. So now we're just going to set our wiring back in our guides. And this one is there. Okay, now let's make our connections back to the coils. This connection here. And this last connection. Job done besides putting the cover back on. Everything back together. Hopefully nice and tight the way it wants to be. Let's give the car a spin. All right, here we go. $193,000. I don't know why the screen looks like it's flashing. It's not flashing on the LCD. Let's see if we have oil pouring out everywhere. Okay, I went ahead and washed off the motor a little bit. Just so we can see anything happening. Okay, parts are in, everything's done, YouTubers. At this point, I'm going to consider the job done. If you see another video that valve cover gasket or something where then you know we've not fixed the actual leak, we just did the VTEC gasket for that reason. But hopefully this fixed it. Anyway, YouTubers, if you like the video, like the video.